From the boulevards of Paris to the fashionable seaside resorts of the Côte d'Azur, France offers some of the most beautiful scenery in the world. Fairy tale castles, glorious cathedrals, and picture-perfect villages delight romantics. At the same time, the country's contemporary monuments and rapid train transit jolt visitors from the storybook surroundings into the ambience of the 21st century. Begin with the Eiffel Tower, the modern emblem of France. Then discover famous masterpieces of art at the Louvre Museum. Spend a day pretending to be royalty at the elegant Palace of Versailles. Save time for leisurely gourmet meals. Traditional French gastronomy has been inscribed on the UNESCO list of intangible cultural heritage. Each region has its own distinctive cuisine and culture. The coastal region of Brittany offers the old-world charm of quaint fishing villages and ancient seaports. While the French Alps boasts a hearty cuisine of cheese fondue and charcuterie served in cozy chalets near ski slopes. Savor the country's irresistible charm and learn about the best things to do with our list of the top attractions in France. The symbol of Paris, the Eiffel Tower is a feat of ingenuity as much as it is a famous landmark. This structure of 8,000 metallic parts was designed by Gustave Eiffel as a temporary exhibit for the World Fair of 1889. Originally loathed by critics, the 320-meter-high tower is now a beloved and irreplaceable fixture of the Paris skyline. The Eiffel Tower's gracefulness has earned it the nickname of Iron Lady. Visitors are impressed by the tower's delicate airiness despite its monumental size and the breathtaking panoramas at each of the 3 levels. Tourists can dine with a view at the first level or indulge at the Michelin-starred Le Jules Verne restaurant on the second level. At the exhilarating height of 276 meters, the top level offers a sweeping outlook over the city of Paris and beyond. Vistas extend as far as 70 kilometers on a clear day. In a stately palace that was once a royal residence, the Louvre Museum ranks among the top European collections of fine arts. Many of Western civilization's most famous works are found here, including the Mona Lisa by Leonardo da Vinci, the Wedding Feast at Cana by Veronese, and the 1st century BC Venus de Milo sculpture. The collection owes its wealth to the contributions of various kings who lived in the Louvre. Other pieces were added as a result of France's treaties with the Vatican and the Republic of Venice, and from the spoils of Napoleon I. The Louvre displays around 35,000 artworks, including countless masterpieces. It's impossible to see it all in a day or even in a week. Take a private guided tour or focus on a short list of key artworks for the most rewarding experience. The Château de Versailles emblematizes the grandeur of the French monarchy prior to the fall of the ancient regime. This UNESCO-listed monument represents a glorious moment of France's history, under the reign of Louis XIV, when the palace set the standard for princely courts in Europe. Beginning in 1661, Louis XIV transformed his father's hunting lodge into an opulent royal palace. To realize the vision of Louis XIV, esteemed architect Louis Laval renovated the Château of Louis XIII in an elegant neoclassical manner. Later in the 17th century, Jules Hardouin-Mansart created the lavish Baroque interiors, including the Hall of Mirrors. The most spectacular space in the palace is the Hall of Mirrors, where courtiers waited for an audience with His Majesty. This dazzling gallery sparkles with sunlight that enters through the windows and is reflected off hundreds of ornamental mirrors, while dozens of glittering chandeliers and gilded details make the overall impression even more marvelous. Versailles is equally renowned for Les Jardins, formal French gardens featuring decorative pools, perfectly trimmed shrubbery, numerous statues, and magnificent fountains. The gardens were created in the 17th century by renowned landscape designer André Lenotre and are surrounded by 800 hectares of lush parkland. Beyond the formal gardens is the Domaine de Trianon, which includes Le Grand Trianon Palace, Le Petit Trianon Château, and La Haie de la Réunion, Marie Antoinette's fabricated pastoral village featuring quaint cottages set around a lake. Inspired by rural architecture, the buildings have a weathered finish that was intentionally rendered to lend a rustic look. Marie Antoinette's hamlet originally had a working dairy and farm, which served educational purposes for her children. This idyllic spot was designed as a place for Marie Antoinette to escape from the formality of court life, to take walks and visit with friends. The hamlet provides a rare glimpse of Marie Antoinette's private world. The most fashionable stretch of coastline in France, the Côte d'Azur extends from Saint-Tropez to Menton near the border with Italy. Côte d'Azur translates to Coast of Blue, a fitting name to describe the Mediterranean's mesmerizing cerulean waters. To English speakers, this glamorous seaside destination is known as the French Riviera, words that have a ring of sun-drenched decadence. During summer, the seaside resorts are packed with beach lovers and sun worshippers. The rich and famous are also found here in their lavish villas and luxury yachts. The town of Nice has panoramic sea views and stellar art museums. Cannes is famous for its celebrity film festival and legendary hotels. The best sandy beaches are found in Antibes, which also has an atmospheric old town and superb museums. Saint-Tropez offers fabulous public and private beaches along with the charm of a Provençal fishing village, while Monaco seduces with its exclusive ambience and stunning scenery. Rising dramatically from a rocky islet off the Normandy coast, the UNESCO-listed Mont Saint-Michel is one of France's most striking landmarks. This pyramid of the seas is a mystical sight, perched 80 meters above the bay, and surrounded by imposing defensive walls and bastions. The main tourist attraction, the Abbaye du Mont Saint-Michel, is a marvel of medieval architecture with soaring Gothic spires. Visitors are awed by the serene beauty of the Abbey Church, with its harmonious Romanesque nave and ornate high-vaulted choir. Since it was built in the 11th century, the Abbey Church has been an important Christian pilgrimage destination, known as the Heavenly Jerusalem. Modern-day pilgrims are still inspired by Mont Saint-Michel and continue the tradition of crossing the bay by foot as it was done in the Middle Ages. Provence invites visitors to escape into a dreamy bucolic landscape of olive groves, sun-drenched rolling hills, and deep purple lavender fields, with little villages nestled in the valleys and perched on rocky outcrops. The vibrant scenery has enchanted many famous artists, including Cézanne, Matisse, Chagall, and Picasso. The rustic natural beauty, country charm, and laid-back atmosphere of Provence allows the region's art de vivre to flourish. Sultry weather encourages leisurely strolls along cobblestone streets and afternoons spent on sunny terraces of outdoor cafes. Among the many attractions of Provence is its delicious Mediterranean cuisine, which is based on olive oil, vegetables, and aromatic herbs. Tourists can choose from a wide range of culinary establishments, from family-run bistros to Michelin-starred gastronomic restaurants. The quintessential Provençal town, Aix-en-Provence is famous for its colorful open-air markets and the hundreds of fountains that are typical of southern France. Fascinating ancient ruins and traditional festivals distinguish the town of Arles. The medieval city of Avignon is home to the UNESCO-listed Palais des Papes. Even tiny villages like Saint-Paul-de-Vence, Saint-Remy, and Gourdes have amazing historic sites, fantastic museums, and an irresistibly quaint ambience. Brittany is a beautiful historic region on the northeastern coast of France. A rugged coastline, quaint fishing villages, and weathered seaports characterize this region, which is steeped in ancient traditions and famous for its costumed religious festivals. A mystical land of myths and legends, Brittany has a Celtic influence and a dialect related to Gaelic. The local cuisine is delicious, best known for its savory buckwheat crepes and sweet dessert crepes. The quintessential Breton port is Saint-Malo, surrounded by ancient walls. Quimper is a picture postcard historic town with handsome half-timbered houses, pleasant squares, and an impressive Gothic cathedral. Nantes has a spectacular chateau and is where the Edict of Nantes was signed in 1598, granting freedom of religious belief to Protestants. Other highlights of Brittany are the pristine sandy beaches, tiny remote islands, and ancient castles. Belle-Isle-en-Mer, the largest of the Breton Islands, appeals to vacationers in search of a peaceful seaside setting. Ferry boats run from Quiberon, Port Navalo, and Vannes to Belle-Isle-en-Mer. While traveling in France, you can visit some more beautiful places such as Loire Valley Chadocs, Cathédrale Notre-Dame de Chartres, Chamonix Mont Blanc, Alsace villages, Carcassonne, Biarritz, Rocamader, prehistoric cave paintings, and Lascaux. May your journey continue to the most historic, rare, and beautiful places in the world.